What is up, everybody? Jester here, and today we're going to be talking about the guy behind me, the Minotaur. Yes, because in Worlds Part 1, Hello Games introduced a Flamethrower upgrade for this guy. I'm really much looking forward to this because I love testing their modules for RNG and that type of stuff, and I assume this is going to be no exception to that. So we're going to go buy a bunch of these, and we're going to open them up, and we're going to see just how good we can get this thing, and then we're going to go test it out. It should be a really fun day, lots of science. Let's get into it. To start today's adventure, we go up to the space station, and we're actually going to be more specifically looking at the Exocraft vendor, and that's noted here on the sign by the little vehicle. Just watch for that. I've seen that vendor be on the other side in my home system. That's where he's at, but just know that's the sign you're looking for. From there, you come over and you talk to this person, and we're looking for a very specific type of upgrade, and this one happens to have it. It is the S-Class Minotaur Flamethrower module. I can't wait to get a whole bunch of these and find out what the numbers look like. We're going to be doing 100 of these, so I'm going to be doing a certain method because they have now stopped you from doing duplication on these things. You can't put them in a refiner anymore. Kind of an interesting choice, but we'll talk about that more in a future video. So from there, you just come back down to your ship, you hop in, you hop out, and then we're going to reload the restore point, not reload the autosave. Sometimes when you fart real lightly, it'll autosave, and it may put you way before this restore point. So just make sure you're reloading this point, and you shouldn't have any trouble with this at all. Now, I find this system to be a little bit quicker than actually going around. Even if I knew the next star station would have the module I'm looking for, I'd still find it a little quicker because I feel like the transit time is longer than this just a little restore reload. So from there, you're just going to go right back up to the same guy, and you can talk to him again, and you should be able to buy this module no problem. And then from there, it's just rinse and repeat for however many that you want. Like I said, we're going to do 100. You could just get your 3, or you could end up getting, 1,000 if you wanted to. It's totally up to you how much time you want to spend doing this, but this is going to be the quickest way to get it done if you want to get them in bulk. Another quick thing to mention is if you don't have the nanites to actually do this, and I'm not advocating you do or don't, you could always come in and turn your purchases down to free. And this is why it's so weird that they do this with the refiner thing and not being able to duplicate, because you can get this stuff for free, so why do they care how you get them? But if you wanted to and you didn't have the nanites, this is available to you if you wanted to do that. An hour and 45 minutes and 100 upgrades later, I went to the anomaly to talk to Percy's, who's the Exocraft research guy here. And I wanted to make sure we didn't have anything to buy, because typically you've got to have some type of module that's going to be the parent module. And we don't see that here. We have everything purchased, and I'm sure that's not going to come back to haunt us in the end. With all of that finally finished, we can finally start laying in these upgrades. And what I wanted to do was kind of record the highs and lows on these so that I could maybe get an idea of where the high-end ones were going to be. But I noticed there was 3 different categories: damage, impact, fire duration, and weapon power efficiency. And like I said, every one of these upgrades I recorded and figured out which was the highest, which was the lowest, and every time there was a new high number, I would scratch out the one before and write the new number. And this way we got a true spread. And as it turns out, 2121 is as bad as you can get. But in just the first couple, I noticed that damage number didn't change. So what I can tell you straight away is the damage number is absolutely static. I never got a single one of these in 100 that wasn't a 200% damage. So just know that that one's not too bad. And that gave me kind of high hopes that the RNG may not be too heavy on this. And then I went through the rest of the 100. In the end, I settled on these 3. The first one that I got was a 25% power efficiency and 34% impact fire duration. Now, I kind of erred on the side of impact fire duration, thinking this is going to do more damage over time, or DOT. And again, remember that the damage percentage, actual stat, it never changed, 200%. The second one I went ahead and kept has a 35% impact fire duration and 24% weapon power efficiency. And I believe we did get one that's the max. This is the highest numbers on both that I could possibly get. 35% impact fire duration, we got that twice. And then weapon power efficiency, this was the only one I ever saw at 30, ever. Regardless of what the fire duration number was, this was the only one. And I managed to roll both of these, and I kind of want to explain the math behind all of this. You see, it's not quite as simple as just saying that 21 to 30 for the weapons efficiency, that you've got a spread of 10, and it has to be 10 because you got to include 21. Or by saying it's 15 between 21 and 35 when it comes to the impact fire duration. What it actually is it's stacked RNG, and I've showed this in other videos before, to where, think of it as 100-sided dice. Okay, and on that dice for the 10.1, let's say there's one side of that dice that is actually a 30 for the weapon's efficiency. And then for a 29, there may be 2 sides. For a 27, there may be 5 sides. And so on and so forth until you get all 100 sides covered. So you gotta have a perfect roll. And then to top that off, it's stacked, because now you gotta do a perfect roll on the other one between 21 and 35. So the likelihood of getting a really, really strong one is pretty low, even though we did get one in 100 tries. It's just the math is mind-boggling how much RNG they hide everything behind. With everything finally covered, there's nothing left to do but go get in a fight and see what this thing does. And I do want to point a couple of quick things out here. If we go over to our extra craft, yes, I've got the upgrades that we described there, but I also kept 3 of the 2121s, because we're going to put these in afterwards and see what kind of result we get and if it does any better. But I figured let's come here to Moonbase Alpha. It's a dissonant planet. Let's get into a 5-star fight and see if we can't uncover a nest. All we really need to do is switch over to our Flamethrower. Oh yeah, here we go. We can alternate. What do you mean there's no Flamethrower? Yeah, that's right. You heard me. There is no Flamethrower. Now, in all honesty, I knew this as soon as we went to the anomaly. I knew that because there was no parent upgrade, these aren't going to work. So this is what all the big YouTubers, Jason Plays, Captain Steve, Professor Cynical, all these guys that got big followings are telling you this is a 10 of 10 update. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, of why it's not a 10 out of 10 at all. It's not even close to a 10. What did they really add? Yes, there's water that looks great. They changed up all these different worlds, and in my opinion, the color schemes look worse than they did before. They added a broodmother fight that takes all of about 20 seconds with a decent multi-tool. They added 4 new masks that nobody really wears, and you get those in like 20 minutes if you just run around and do a bunch of the grub fights for the broodmother. That's all they added. And then they added this, and everybody got excited, and guess what? It doesn't work. How can you say something they put in is a 10 of 10 when it doesn't work? I don't understand why people can't be critical while still being positive. And I understand that you don't want to bite the hand that feeds. I know you got to make content on something because you guys are more daily upload style people. But come on, man. If you be honest with your audience, people are going to respect you. They're going to respect your honest opinion. And that's what you're going to get when you come here. You're going to get an honest opinion, whether it's good or bad. I'm going to tell you either way. If I like something, I will praise it. And look, I'm not saying don't play No Man's Sky, because it's still a great game. And for a newer player, it's a wonderful game. But what I am going to say is this is not a 10 of 10 kind of update. This is literally window dressing. They added a couple of skins and a few graphic effects. Do they look good? Sure. But that's it. There's no meat on the bone. There's no substance to the update. And then when they do have an opportunity for substance, this is what they give you. This is what they give you. Half of it. So now it's just going to artificially inflate playtime, and you got to come back. And they know you're going to come back, and there's going to be a spike in playership when that happens. And they're going to go, look how many people are playing our game. It's a terrible cycle, and I'm not a big fan of it. We're going to talk a whole lot more about a lot of other instances coming up in the next video, because I couldn't wait to make this one. I really wanted to look at this, and I had a suspicion this is what it was going to be. And sadly, I was right. So until next time, guys, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel, because I got a lot more coming, both in this and the Long Dark, among other games that I'm thinking about covering. And, hit the bell so you know when those videos come out. And please like the video, because it really does help in the algorithm. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.